Hello, family. It's Josué, and as part of the Miracles in the Mayhem, was asked to share a passage from the Bible, a miracle that really helps me see God and really just inspires me going forward. And one of my personal favorite passages is in Joshua 10, from verses 1 to 15. And it reads as such. Now Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, heard that Joshua had taken Ai and totally destroyed it, doing to Ai and its king as he had done to Jericho and its king, and that the people of Gibeon had made a treaty of peace with Israel and had become their allies. He and his people were very much alarmed at this, because Gibeon was an important city, like one of the royal cities. It was larger than Ai, and all its men were good fighters. So Adonizedek, king of Jerusalem, appeared to Hohem, king of Hebron, Piram, king of Jarmuth, Japhia, king of Lachish, and Debir, king of Eglon. "Come up and help me attack Gibeon," he said, "because it has made peace with Joshua and the Israelites." Then the 5 kings of the Amorites, the kings of Jerusalem, Hebron, Jarmuth, Lachish, and Eglon, joined forces. They moved up with all their troops and took up positions against Gibeon and attacked it. The Gibeonites then sent word to Joshua in the camp at Gilgal, "Do not abandon your servants. Come up to us quickly and save us. Help us, because all the Amorite kings from the hill country have joined forces against us." So Joshua marched up from Gilgal with his entire army, including all the best fighting men. The Lord said to Joshua, "Do not be afraid of them. I have given them into your hand. Not one of them will be able to withstand you." After an all-night march from Gilgal, Joshua took them by surprise. The Lord threw them into confusion before Israel. So Joshua and the Israelites defeated them completely at Gibeon. Israel pursued them along the road going up to Beth Horon and cut them down all the way to Azekah and Makkedah. As they fled before Israel on the road down from Beth Horon to Azekah, the Lord hurled large hailstones down on them, and more of them died from the hail than were killed by the swords of the Israelites. On the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, "Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon." So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the nation avenged itself on its enemies, as it is written in the book of Jashar. The sun stopped in the middle of the sky and delayed going down about a full day. There has never been a day like it before or since, a day when the Lord listened to a human being. Surely the Lord was fighting for Israel. Then Joshua returned with all Israel to the camp at Gilgal. The reason I really find this passage inspiring is there wasn't doubt expressed by Joshua. Joshua knew the call, that circumstances were tough, that there was an invading army on their allies. Joshua went and was promised victory by God. And he went and he fought, and God intervened by hailing or by dropping hailstones on them, further disrupting them, further attacking them, and further showing God's presence in that battle. And oftentimes we can kind of look at some situations and think someone is calling on the Lord to help them because they see the situation as hopeless. But in this one, it says, "On the day the Lord gave the Amorites over to Israel, Joshua said to the Lord in the presence of Israel, 'Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and you, moon, over the valley of Ajalon.'" There was no sense of hopelessness. The battle was already well in their favor, and truly this was more of a, let us truly glorify God. Let us go to God and make this clear that God is present in all of this, that this is not just some random coincidence or because I'm a brilliant tactician, but because God has given it over to me and to the rest of the Israelites. And it's just powerful because then we also have this amazing image of the sun and the moon just staying in place and never moving for a day, an event that just never happened since. And they even commend it as, "There has never been a day like it before since, a day when the Lord listened to a human being. Surely the Lord was fighting for Israel." And it's interesting because I think I've read that passage sometimes as there's never been a day like it since where the sun and the earth stood still. Um, but the way it's really phrased makes it sound more like there's never been a day where something so impressive as God listening to a human being um, has never happened. And I mean, that's just to their frame of reference. But then we move forward and we know who we are in Christ and we know the promises that we have and the ability to reach out to God in such a way. And I think in challenging times, when we see our communities, we see our friends, and we see others being challenged, being struck by COVID-19, by facing uncertainty, uh, we lose sight that we are already promised a lot. We're already promised a victory, and promised to be able to overcome this. And we even see this simply in the world. The world already knows that we'll be able to overcome it. We won't go through it unscathed, but we'll be able to overcome it. But we can still go to God in these moments and truly have His presence be shown in all of this and do amazing things. We know that this virus will be dealt with, and that we as a species, that we as a human race are able to overcome it. How much greater then would it be when God makes something truly impossible happen? And that's not even the most miraculous thing about it. It's that it was because you had asked for it, that you had spoken to God and God listened to you. And so in this time, I pray that we are making those claims, those calls to God, not, oh, I don't know what the uncertainty is. No, no, no. God has assured us so much. But instead, God, wouldn't it be amazing if this event occurred that truly demonstrated beyond any doubt that you are here? Not the victory, but how amazing that victory truly can be. And that's why I find this passage amazing, is that it just shows how much God is willing to listen to us at times when we are listening to Him as well. So I hope that you find that inspiring. I hope that encourages you to make such amazing calls to God in your prayers and in your hopes, to see amazing things happen during a time of challenge for sure, but not without hope.